You have seen the video that Bitta Karate was willing to even kill his mother in that Hindu hatred. And today we are seeing the files of Bitta Kejriwal. AAP now stands for Anti-Hindu Appeasement Party. They both opposed Ram Mandir. They both questioned surgical strike. They both doubted India on Pulwama and demanded proof for Balakot airstrike. They both continue to play appeasement politics. They both mock Kashmiri Hindus. They deny the genocide. They help the enablers of this genocide. We have seen 98% fall in stone pelting. We have seen 50% fall in terrorism. We have seen for the first time DDC elections being conducted in a free and fair manner. We have seen that the tricolor today is fluttering not just in Lal Killa but also at Lal Chowk. Today you are seeing Dil and Dilli ki duri is reducing. Today the entire Buranwani gang has been wiped out.
Namaste and a very good evening. Welcome back to Citti Media. I'm your host, Citti. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal made a remark about the movie, The Kashmir Files, in the Delhi Assembly, on the floor of the Delhi Assembly, just to re-emphasize what I've just said. And he said that it's a propaganda movie which is co-produced by the BJP RSS combined and which is peddling propaganda about Kashmir and is creating fake narratives. And remember that this is coming from a sitting chief minister. And he said that it's not the Kashmir files, but rather it should be called Jhuti files. Now, the Kashmiri Pandit community has taken to social media and many of them are expressing concern over this distasteful remark. How is the BJP going to respond? I'm going to ask Shehzad Poonawalla. Shehzad ji, namaste, very good evening. Thank you for joining us today. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has taken a jibe at the filmmakers of the Kashmir Files by calling it Jhuti Files. He says that the movie has been made to further the propaganda of the RSS BJP combined. How would you react to this?
You know, there was somebody called Bitta Karate who had so much Hindu hatred in him that you have seen the video that Bitta Karate was willing to even kill his mother in that Hindu hatred. And today we are seeing the files of Bitta Kejriwal. This is no less than somebody with the same mindset of Hindu hatred. The way they were laughing, the way they were mocking. I want to ask Mr. Kejriwal, when he says that this is a jhuti film, what is jhoot in this film? Were 7 lakh Kashmiri Pandits not forced to leave Jammu Kashmir because of the genocide? Was the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus, was that jhuta? Were the killings of IAF officers, including Ravi Khanna ji, was that jhuta? Was the fact that Yasin Malik and Bitta Karate and their ilk led the Islamic jihad against the Kashmiri Hindu community and gave slogans like Raleef, Galeef, Saleef, convert, leave or die from masjids and from all across the Kashmir Valley, was that jhuta? This kind of defense of Islamic jihad, merely because you want to do appeasement politics, is the lowest that Aam Aadmi Party could fall. And therefore I say AAP now stands for Anti-Hindu Appeasement Party. It does not stand for Aam Aadmi Party. It is Anti-Hindu Appeasement Party.
He also adds that the BJP in reality has not done anything for the Kashmiri Pandits and that people today are getting treated because of the dawai provided by Mr. Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party.
You see, these people who say that nothing has been done for Kashmiri Pandits, when 370 and 35A were removed, this was the biggest historical injustice with Jammu Kashmir. And after the removal of 370 and 35A, we have seen not just the geographical integration, but the spiritual integration of Jammu Kashmir with mainstream India. We have seen 98% fall in stone pelting. We have seen 50% fall in terrorism. We have seen for the first time DDC elections being conducted in a free and fair manner. We have seen that the tricolor today is fluttering not just in Lal Killa, but also at Lal Chowk. Today you are seeing Dil and Dilli ki duri is reducing. Today the entire Buranwani gang has been wiped out. This is the mahal that has to be first created before you can take Kashmiri Pandits back home. But who opposed this? And yes, other things have been done for Kashmiri Pandits. I can talk about the domicile certificates. I can talk about the central laws that have been now applied to Jammu Kashmir, which are giving rights to the Valmiki Samaj, to the women, to the Kashmiri Pandits. I can talk about how the bhatta of Kashmiri Pandits, the allowance that is given to them by the state has been increased, the number of job opportunities have increased. But the most important question is, before resettlement of Kashmiri Pandits comes the question of repentance. Is there any repentance? Do you see the repentance on the face of Arvind Kejriwal and his ilk, who have always stood in defense of Islamic jihad? And this is not the first time they have done this. Mr. Kejriwal was the one who stood against Ram Mandir. He said, my nani has said don't go to Ram Mandir because Babri Masjid was demolished. This is the same Manish Sisodia who said ki Ram Janmabhoomi par, why you should have Ram Mandir, you should have university. They will never dare to say this about Vatican, or they will never say this about Mecca, Medina. This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who gives money to build Hajj house in Dwarka, where there is a violation of DDMA guidelines, but Hanuman Mandir and Ravidas Mandir are demolished by him. Why is that double standard applied? This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who gives allowance to Imam during COVID, but when there is a question of giving the same allowance to Pandits or to Granthis, that they don't do. In fact, they kept the Mandir and the Gurudwara also shut, but Daru ka Theka was open. So this is the true face of Arvind Kejriwal.
Why is the BJP leadership involved in the promotion of a movie is what the opposition today is asking. These are not my words.
We are not promoting any film. We are saying that if somebody has made a film and 32 years after this incident, and one cannot call it incident, it should actually be called the most black spot on India's conscience has taken place, then why are you opposing this film? You are the Mandali which says Bolne ki Azadi. You are the Mandali which says freedom of expression. You are the Mandali which says creative expression should be there. People should be allowed to raise their voice. So a filmmaker has made a film on one of the darkest periods of India's contemporary history. If you don't like his film, don't watch it. If you don't like his film, you make another film with the facts you have. But the manner in which attempt is being made to suppress this film, 144 was applied in Kota in Rajasthan that people should not go to watch the film. Right. People are demanding for ban in the film. Parliament member has spoken that there should be a ban on the film. Mr. AUDF's leader, Mr. Ajmal, has said that there should be a ban on this film. Leaders of Samajwadi Party are saying there should be a ban on this film. That this film will lead to riots and this film will lead to communal hatred. But when Kashmiri Pandits were targeted for being kafirs, when there was a genocide conducted against them, that was not communal. The film depicting the truth has become communal. So these double standards are applied by the so-called free speech gang. And therefore, we are exposing that hypocrisy. We are not promoting any film. But yes, who has promoted films? I would request all the viewers of Citti News to see this. You will see the timeline of Arvind Kejriwal. You will think CM does not mean chief minister, it means cinema minister. He is saying, oh, PK is a very good film, must watch, must watch. A film that denigrates Hindu gods, very good film, must watch. Then he has promoted many other films, some films of Amir Khan and other people. So you can promote a film as chief minister. But if somebody says don't suppress a film, then we are promoting Kashmir Files. And last but not the least, why did he give Kabir Khan's 83 tax-free status? Right. Why did he give Sand Ki Aak tax-free status? What was the social message in Sand Ki Aak? And what was the social message in Neel Bate Sannata? Because right. Those films were made by his ecosystem or catered to his vote bank. They were given tax-free status. And Kashmir Files, because you don't consider Hindus to be human beings, you make fun of them. Therefore, you will not give tax-free status to them.
He added that your party firmly stands against the values espoused by the likes of Babasaheb and Ambedkar and Shahid Bhagat Singh. Do you actually think Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is displaying traits of overconfidence just because they won one assembly election in Punjab?
No, this was always Mr. Kejriwal's true face. This is some people get carried away because of the huge advertisements they do. And because of that Gyapan, people think that what he is delivering is actually true. But we in Delhi know his reality. Now look how his face has got exposed. Firstly, there is no Kejriwal wave in the country. They lost 100% deposits in Uttar Pradesh. They've lost 97% deposits in Uttarakhand, and they've lost 90% deposits in Goa. The state of Punjab, they have won. In Punjab, the next day, Bhagwant Mann, all the promises they made, we will give 1,000 rupees to women per month, we will give 5,000 rupees to unemployed people, we will give this free, that free. They have come to the center and said, give us 50,000 crore rupees per year so that we can fulfill our promises. But during elections, they were saying that we have all the money. Punjab के पास बड़ा पैसा है, हम सबको मुफ्त देंगे. Now they are demanding money from center, and if center says that we cannot give any one state so much fund every year, then they will say, see, center is stopping this. How much money they spend on advertisements in Delhi? I would request Arvind Kejriwal, now that he has given Vivek Agnihotri ji a very good idea that the movie should be streamed on YouTube, he should stream all his advertisements on YouTube. This will save the exchequer and people of Delhi 1,000 crore rupees per year.
Since we're also discussing Punjab, the opposition space is now being probably occupied by the TMC or the AAP. So why has the Congress performed so poorly? I mean, I should be asking this to the Congress people, but do you see a shift in the opposition space right now?
Look, I can tell you one thing for a fact, that whether it is AAP or whether it is Congress party, they are no different. They are coming out from the same gotra. They are born from the same thought process. And therefore, I say they are twin sisters. They are twin sisters with common ideology, common vision, common tactics, common politics. They both opposed Ram Mandir. They both questioned surgical strike. They both doubted India on Pulwama and demanded proof for Balakot airstrike. They both continue to play appeasement politics. They both mock Kashmiri Hindus. They deny the genocide. They help the enablers of this genocide. So they are the twin sisters in Indian politics. And therefore, even if Congress party commits suicide for its twin sister Aam Aadmi party, you should not make any they are all cut from the same cloth. TMC, Aam Aadmi Party and Congress Party. Look at the same commonology also, common point also. In Bengal, Mamata Banerjee does Nirmamta and says Birbhum massacre took place, it is like sneezing. And the same colonial cousin, I can say, of Mamata Banerjee in Delhi, Mr. Kejriwal, mocks the plight of Hindus massacred in Kashmir. So both of them are mocking people. Both of them mock human lives. Both have a nirmam chehra and only focus on Vigyapan and victim.
My last question to you, Shehzad ji, is there are a few filmmakers who are planning to make Gujarat Files in response to the Kashmir Files. How would you respond?
Well, they are most welcome to make it. I just hope that it is not as badly researched as the book of the same name, which the Supreme Court threw into the dustbin. But yes, if they make Gujarat Files, it should open with Godhra Files. And unfortunately, I don't think they have the courage to show the real Godhra Files.
It's always a pleasure talking to you, Shehzad ji. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.